Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Thank you for joining us, everyone, today. And I know we've got young Mr. Pimper on the line with us. David, how are you doing today? Well, I'm hoping that you all can hear me because it looks like David can't. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. We'll try and deal with that here as we go along. I'm going to, of course, my name is Steve Murray. Thank you all for joining us again today. Thanks for your patience with us. It sounds like we've got a issue with some of you being able to hear us. So I'm going to skip through a few things or rather move through them very quickly here today. Of course, you all are familiar with a couple of programs that we have. This invitation only went out to folks that are already doing or have some pretty good knowledge of us here at IAMS. We're not making this program available to everyone, the Retirement Boss Radio program. So you are all pretty well aware probably the RPM programs, marketing reimbursement. Let's just say that when you refer someone to us or when you do business with us, you are rewarded with additional cash bonuses from your team here at IAMS. So that's great news. If you have more information on any of these programs, I encourage you to give me a call. Many of you are still in your first 180 days of doing business with us, which is great. What that means is you've got opportunity still to take advantage of the new producer bonuses. So hopefully you will do just that very shortly. We've got great back office support, as you all know. If you've done business with us, you know that the commission to submission process here at IAMS is fully built out. We've got a great team, understands the business and understands the carriers that we do business with. We're going to get your business out in and out of there as quickly as anyone for you here right now. So we appreciate your giving us opportunity to help you with your business, and I hope you'll let me know if we are falling short in any way on there. I know we are struggling right now a little bit on the Athene side as they're introducing a new system, so we're pushing them pretty hard every day. And I think we're making some headway there, but I know that we're still struggling. I appreciate your patience with the team there. And as all of you know, many of you have taken advantage of our creative marketing team. They do a great job with helping you all kind of build your image and your brand, and you're getting your websites out there, working with you on your Facebook stuff, and just do a great job as kind of like an internal advertising agency for you. We do most of that really at no cost or strictly at cost if we're doing some printing for you, because we know that our benefit to you is to help you grow your business. We can do that for you quickly and easily. So I appreciate your using our team for that. And if you haven't looked at our website, I'm just going to ask you primarily just run and have a look at that support part of our website. So it's iamsinc.com. Go to the support section of our website. We've added a new service there. It's the IAM Sales Library. There's a ton of stuff out there which most guys and gals are not aware of. It's obviously free. Everything is out there for your benefit, and it's something that once you look at it and see what's out there, I'm sure you're going to find some ways to use that to help your business and save you time, whether you're looking for standard forms for, buy-sell agreements, things like that, some basic trust information, all that happy stuff. That's all going to be out there available for you on the website, and under that support tab, just go to the IAM Sales Library. You should probably, if you haven't looked at the website, maybe even have somebody here at the office, one of our sales directors, walk you through that. Retirement Analyzer software, pretty safe, solid stuff, very easy for you to use. We make it available to you right now at no cost. We take care of the cost of it for you. Give Marcus Soller a call here at the office and ask for just a quick review and sign in and log in so that you can go ahead and run it. It might be that as you look at it, you'll say, that's perfect for me. I can use it. If that's the case, we'll continue to make it available to you. If it's not, then just let us know it's not a good fit for you, and we will go ahead and get you up and running with something else that maybe fits better for you. I'm going to skip over IAMS Wealth Management here really quickly. Life and Annuity Academies, many of you have joined us on that. I know that this is a pretty experienced group that we have on here today. Many of you have already been to one of our Life and Annuity Academies. If you haven't, you're right in business with us and you want to join us, we will talk in person with you about the Retirement Boss Radio program there. We'll also talk about seminars, talk about what's going on in the industry. Really good information for you. what I would say, if you have interest in joining us at one of our academies, just give us a call here. We'll send you out a sample agenda, let you take a peek at that. We'll send you out a registration form. And then next time we have one, we've got 2 or 3 coming up yet this year. So we'll give you a call and say, hey, if the time fits, we take care of your expenses, your travel, your hotel. So really the expense is your time. And I know that's valuable, but we're going to take some of the burden of some of those other expenses off you and put you in front of some really great ideas at our Life and Annuity Academy. So if you have interest, give us a call here at 800-255-5055. Simply ask for any sales director and ask for information on our sales Life and Annuity Academy. We'll get you in front of all the information that you need so you can make a great decision as to whether that's a valuable use of your time. We're coming up on end of qualification for our current marketing summit. We're going to be going to the Ritz-Carlton down in beautiful Florida. There's still time to qualify. Many of you are well on your way to qualification. Some have already qualified. Congratulations. We're looking forward to seeing you and your guests there. It's a great property. We've had nothing but great feedback from everybody that's ever been to that hotel. It's a great spot. Sits right on the beach. Great area of the country, Naples. Great time to be there. So we're hopeful that any of you that are on the cusp of qualifying, we can help you get over the hump. If you're still looking for get rolling with us, time grows short, or qualification ends on that in June. So at the end of June. So there's still time to qualify. Let us know how we can help you get there. All right. So now we're going to talk about Retirement Boss Radio with Dave Pimper. And this is relatively new. By new, probably been doing it now for about 7 months. Got some great stuff. And the great news is that Dave is here live in office, and he's going to go through this with you. So a lot of experience in radio. This is Dave's 30th probably plus years in the business, and he's got 22, 23 years of radio experience that goes with that. So he's a producer in the field himself, great coach for us, works with a lot of our top producers, and this is a great new program that we are happy to offer to you. So let's let Dave talk to you about Retirement Boss Radio.
Good morning to some of you and good afternoon to others. I hope everybody's doing well today. We got a good showing today, which I'm really happy about, talking about radio show marketing. And this is a very unique type of marketing. It's not for everybody. I mean, it's great for me because I have a radio face. And so what happens is that I can get away with it. But no, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of different kind of marketing programs in our business. I started in the financial service arena in 1981. So I've done this for a long time. And radio is a very unique medium when it comes to marketing. So I'm a big seminar guy. And so some people will ask me, what's better? Are seminars better than radio, or radio better than seminars? They're different. I mean, it's like, is a black lab better than a terrier? Is a terrier better than a black lab? It's different. And they both have their good points. They both have, of course, their negative points. But I will say this with marketing, there's a cost to marketing. And that's the cost that you're investing in your business to get in front of more qualified prospects. And in that sense, radio has been very, very good. So here's what happens is, kind of my association. If you've not been on one of my webinars before, my name is Dave Pimper. I have a production coaching firm called Lazarus, Lazarus, like the biblical Lazarus. You can't remember what he did. Yeah, when Jesus raised Lazarus from the grave. Well, what I hope that I do, my slogan is that I can hopefully raise your production from the dead. And what happens is through seminars, through radio, through maybe sales process, that is my intention of my company, that I've worked solely through IAMS, Insurance Agency Marketing Services, the FMO, for over the last 12, 13, 14 years. So we're going to talk about radio marketing today. I did a live show in a small town with a very small AM radio station for 11 years, from 7:15 in the morning to 8 o'clock AM on every Saturday morning. And my goal there was to really get well known. My goal wasn't as much to get business, but it was to get well known. And I did that. I did certainly get some business from that. But the goal here is to have qualified appointments set from us live, real time from an appointment setting call center. And it's worked pretty slick. I'm averaging in Omaha, Nebraska, off of KFAB 1110 a.m. We're averaging right at 3 set appointments per week, and so that keeps me pretty darn busy, not counting the seminar business. If you've got any questions, certainly go in and bring them up, and we will answer those here, at the end. Okay, so let's go in and see if I can switch this to the next. So why radio? And I'm going to kind of go down through those 5 bullet points. First of all, radio reaches a lot of people, and it's incredible that it reaches more people than most of the mediums that you would think that would reach more. Radio reaches more than TV, meaning people they listen to the radio more than they're on the TV each week. Smartphone, personal computer, it's pretty wild, isn't it? But it's the truth. The median age is 61, and I work with the pre-retired and retired crowd. First of all, that's really who has the rollover dollars that I'm looking from, the 401k, the thrift saving plan. In fact, I just rolled into the office at IAMS from my Omaha office, which is only about 10 minutes away, and here is a client that not a big deal, but I mean, it's still $100,000 plus, and he is rolling that over from his company retirement plan. That's where lots of those folks come on in. They're in transition of retiring, transition of taking their money out of their company retirement plan, rolling it on over. That money in transition, very, very, it's a very prime time to go in and give good financial advice to go in and control that money to work with it for the folks. Radio is more of an upscale audience, and it's a little older audience. So 75,000 income and above, listen an average of 12 hours a week to radio. Isn't that wild? Radio solidifies yourself as an expert much more than a seminar marketer does. I'm not putting down seminar marketing because I still do seminar marketing. I still have good business coming in from seminar marketing. But you know what? When a person comes in and says, were you the one on radio? Were you actually the one that did the show? Yeah, I was. It really kind of elevates you up. And news talk right now, it's hot. News, weather, sports, all of that in AM radio is hot. This kind of just goes in from the Nielsen reports and goes in and supports of what we talked about, how radio, look at TV, smartphone, PC, TV connected tablet. Yeah, it's by far the most used, and it's just a very, very widely used medium. So who's on Rush Limbaugh? Who's the stations we try to go on? Yeah, it's the Rush Limbaugh stations, or the Kim Commando, the Dave Ramsey, Glenn Beck. Yeah, those are kind of that upper scale crowd that have some funds, that have IRAs and 401ks, etc., that maybe we're able to transfer and to work with. We try to do a weekend show. It's going to be stronger than lots of times than a weekday show. So it's either Saturday between 8 and 6 or Sunday between 8 and 3. Like my show is on Sunday at 12 o'clock. I catch people as they go to church. I catch people as they're going to Menards, Home Depots, etc. And radio gives you lots of exposure. I mean, there's thousands of people listening to you on bigger AM radio stations at any given time. If you have a question, certainly type it on in, and I'll be more than happy to answer that for you. So, Retirement Boss Radio, tagline, take charge of your money. I trademarked that before I even did my very first show. We tested this for 6 months, and now we're just starting to really roll it out to other areas. I've got, I think, 7 or 8 that we got radio time for, and that we're in the process of putting on board. Probably all of those won't, but I'm sure 2 or 3 of those will. But our goal is to get Retirement Boss Radio, all across the U.S. in different markets. The content is very good. I say fabulous, but the content is very, very good. Our production company, because this is recorded, so it's not live, which is nice. You can do it from your home. You can do it from your office. You don't have to be security licensed. You can certainly be, just insurance licensed and be able to show fixed or fixed index. And of course, you'll get some life insurance. I mean, because once you're in front of the person, you can kind of show the wares that you have the expertise with as far as financial strategies. But the show notes, I get them from the production company. I redo those show notes and kind of put them into bullet form. It's not, you don't read it word for word. We don't want a canned program. We need help from an outline, but you can kind of go where you want to. There's coaching with me for 4 coaching sessions. There's no cost to the coaching. I get paid by the FMO. They pay me to help people, and their goal is that you're running business through them. That's where they make their profit, and we hope we can increase your production a lot. That is our goal. But I've got over 25 years in radio. 11 of those were an actual radio show, and then the other about 12, 13 years, I did a ending market report between 3.5, 4 minutes and 5 minutes called like Paul Harvey in the news, and it was pretty cool. But this show, what's pretty neat about this is that it through trial and error and finding the right production company, finding the right media buyer who buys the radio time and very good negotiator, finding the right appointment setting call center. So when they call in, the goal of this appointment call center is to set the appointment. It's not to give them a free book or to go in and give them a free white paper. No, they know they're calling in to set the appointment. And that's what's pretty exciting. I have all of my emails go on my phone. It's just kind of like Christmas every Sunday between 12 and 1, watching those appointments come in. You can see right there a little bit about them. I see their sheet every single Sunday, who sets up an appointment, who does not. And everyone who does not set the appointment, for every 2 to 3 of those folks that do call in, we call back on Monday and we set usually one appointment out of about 3. Turnkey is good in this business. Why vary from the track? The nice thing about not being live, if you make a mistake, you can re-record it. You can say, let's start over. I probably do that at least once a show. I didn't like how that came out. Let's do it over again. Now, the nice things, you can go ahead and pick of when you want to record it. I pick mine Monday morning at 8:30. I get it done right away. Yeah, it's just very, very nice. You have a co-host that's supplied by the production company. And that co-host, we've got 2 different co-hosts that we use. One in particular right now. He's very, very good at what he does. He's kind of the color guy. Does a great job of keeping it going. He only works with financial planners. Okay? Which is pretty interesting. The production company, they edit, they mix your show, they put the ads in with your name. In fact, if you want to hear one of my shows, just go to www.retirementbossradio.com. Retirementbossradio.com. That's our website. You'll be able to go in there and bring up some podcasts on 30-minute segments of our show. Our show lasts for an hour. We have 2 30-minute segments, but you'll be able to hear. It'll be very similar, but of course, you'd be doing it with your name, etc. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, give us a call. You just type it on in, and we'll be more than happy to answer for you. So let's go back into the production. Provides the show notes, which I revise. The show notes are a little different if you're security licensed or straight insurance licensed. They're similar, but there is a little more insurance in the word guarantees, and there's a little more emphasis on insurance. I write 2 sets of show notes, professional commercials, which you'll hear if you go to retirementbossradio.com. You'll be able to hear the call to action. We talk about, when we get together, when we visit, when we see you face to face. They know they're calling in for an appointment. The media buyer we have, gosh, Jared's great. He has over 400 current weekly shows that he's negotiated airtime from. I doubt if there's any kind of a population, I would say of a couple 100,000 or 250 or above metro. I'm sure that he's purchased airtime or negotiated to try to purchase airtime through the years, his 22 years in the business. You can record at your own timeline. And the call center, we had to go through another call center to get to this one. The first one just didn't do the trick, but this one has been very, very good. We wrote the script. It's pretty sharp, pretty impressive. The celebrity status is something that's interesting about radio or television, which can be, we don't do television as of yet, But radio, it gives you kind of that celebrity status. And depending on the size and the population of city, it's not going to be any more costly normally than what a dinner seminar is. And so if you're spending $4,000 or $5,000, I gave 2 bids last week of areas where it was $2,900 in a city over 2 million. It was the second biggest AM radio station, a 50,000 watt station. It was, I think that ran for the monthly cost right around $3,000. So there's certainly a cost. There's certainly a pay to play, but it's not nearly as expensive as you think. Now, if you go out and try to get the radio advertising yourself for that hour, yeah, you're not going to have nearly the cost. I mean, probably pay 50% more than what the media buyer. Plus, we get anywhere from 10 to 30, 15-second to 30-second ads every single week promoting our show. So there's a lot of radio time, even besides the hour that you get. For $50, we can put it on podcasts. Like right now, I am on Beancast, BEAN cast, all of my shows, www.beancast.show. And if you go under iTunes, Retirement Boss Radio, I'm on iTunes. We do that if you want to. Now, I haven't had any leads yet, but I think eventually I will. We just put them up there within the last month or so, and there is an upcharge of $50 to do that. Just like right here, Retirement Boss Radio, and this is on the podcast. Yep. So a lot of things are going social media, kind of digital now. This is what I get over my phone or over your computer. It's emailed to you from the call center after there's a set appointment or any talk to or any even a hang up. But how fun is this? And I highlighted. So here, the source came from KFAB, which is 1110 in Omaha, March the 5th, so about a month ago. Appointment was scheduled, yes. And then I get a kick out of this. They've always put notes in. So the comments, turning 59 soon, hasn't settled on someone yet, meaning an advisor. He has a 401k that is 7-figured. Also had questions about Social Security. And he lied because it was only 950-some thousand. It used to be $1 million, but it went down in January, February, or October, November, December of last year. But yeah, this guy, interesting guy. He's single, been working with the same firm for 36 years. He's going to be there for 3 or 4 more years. His birthday is the 24th of April. He'll be 59. He'll be 59 and a half, October the 24th. And we're going to do an in-service non-hardship withdrawal, I hope we will, with a fair amount of this money, meaning we can take that money out, work with it, even though he's still working for the firm in adding money to his 401k. This was a very, very good appointment. And even though there wasn't money right there, whenever you're looking at $1 million, even if you get 200,000-300,000, it's still a very, very good sale, no doubt about it. Radio is interesting because hosting your own show, it gives you some star quality. It gives you some credibility. It gives you, I had a person say, well, I've never even met you before, Dave. But I guess since you're on KFAB, you must have checked out for them. Well, in reality, the radio show doesn't check you out. They're selling airtime. But the idea, kind of the sentiment behind it is that you're endorsed by the radio company, which you're not, but that's kind of the of what feels. The live website, Retirement Boss Radio, like I said, if you want to listen to shows or get more information about the show. And as we're ending up here, and we're going to actually put a slide on after the next slide. And it will say that you'd like to go in and get more information on the radio show, or you don't. And if you don't, that's fine. Just mark no. But if you do, please put a phone number there that we can go in and we can call you. And I'll tell you this, if you mark yes, take the call. We're busy, and I know you guys are busy too, prospecting, getting in front of people, writing business. This is a very, very busy, but be sincere. If you mark yes, then I certainly will call you. There's no charge for the call. And what will happen is on Monday, one of my administrators, Lori or Lynn normally, will go in and call you to set up a good time, and you'll be talking with me, not one of our associates, but you'll be talking with me. It says, procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. You know what? Don't let it happen to you. Tomorrow may never come. The people who take action in this world are the people who are the most successful. If you saw something today that you said, maybe I could see that. And I'll tell you something else that I do. I'd rather have you do your own show, but if you've got the funds and you want the exposure and you want those appointments, I will certainly do the show for you. I'm doing it for a big producer out on the West Coast right now. We're just setting it on up, and he has a very good personality. He'd be very good at radio. He just does not have the time with all of the business coming in. Plus he enjoys golfing, so he wants his free time, but he wants me to do it for him, and then all of those appointments will go to him. That certainly is an option. I don't think it's your first option. I'd rather have you do it yourself because you're building your brand, but I can build that brand for you. I would be the one on building that show for those appointments for yourself. And just kind of lastly, Al Jolston, he is a actor, and he says, I'd like to do radio just like pictures leave the imperfect stuff on the cutting room floor. The reason I picked this was it's so nice when it's recorded and that it's not live. I just talked to a guy big city down in Florida. He does a live show. He's done it since October, but he has to be there every day at the same time to record it live in the studio. We call it Studio in the Box. It's one of the small extra costs. It's about $150. You get the mic, you get the earphones. If you need some sound deadening in your room, there's not enough rugs or grass cloth on the walls. That's another $25-$30. We have a box that deadens all the sound. But for under $200, you have a studio in a box. You've got studio right where you want, and that's a portable studio, but we do it right from your room. The nice thing is we can leave it on the cutting room floor because it's recorded. Live, you cannot. So, Retirement Boss Radio. Steve is going to bring up the poll, and if you mark yes, please take the call from Lynn or Lori, who calls you on Monday, and I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. So I know we've got some questions here, and if you have a question, just punch it on in, and we will answer that for you in the next couple minutes, and hopefully we will talk soon. So I'm going to switch this over to Steve Murray, co-owner of Insurance Agency Marketing.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to have you in-house here at IAMS for today's webinar. So thank you for taking some time to actually come in the office. We appreciate that. So there are a few questions that have arisen. Most of them kind of focus around costs. So if I know that there's going to be some variation there, Dave, but can you walk folks through kind of what they can expect in terms of cost and maybe give them just a little bit better idea where they can go to maybe listen to your radio show? I know that you mentioned that. I'll try and type it in as well because I'm sure they'd like to listen to a show or two, or at least get a flavor for what a show sounds like, because it's really done very, very well. And then there are a couple questions about results. So maybe if you can also spend just a minute or two and go over with the folks what you've seen in terms of actual results and success. Okay?
Yeah, you bet. There's three main costs when it comes to radio show marketing. The biggest cost is the radio time, the air time. And that can, I would say on an average of all the ones that we've done, I would say that the average cost is it might be $500-$600 a week. So if it's $500 a week, and let's just say the month has 4 weeks, that's $2,000. So that's the cost. That's the major cost. The production company who supplies the co-host. So every week that co-host is on there with you. Then what happens is that they supply the show notes. They mix and edit, meaning they're the ones that make it sound professional. They put the ads in and they get it to the radio station. And if you got more than one station, it's still only $1,000. So they charge $1,000, whether it's one station or 5 station that they get it to. So now you got $2,000 for the radio time, $1,000, and then give or take, because this varies upon the minutes used, but normally it's between $200 and $225 is how much the call center is. So a couple $100. So in that case, you're probably looking from $3,000 to $3,500. When I do a non-dinner workshop, what happens is that the cost of that is about $3,500 without a dinner. So see, it's very similar to a non-dinner workshop. If you're in a bigger area on one of the main stations, like I've got a huge station, KFAB, 50,000 watt station, but it's the only game in town in Omaha, Nebraska. Even though Omaha is only 900,000, it's not a $2-3 million metro. But I pay $1,000 per week, which is $4,500 for the production, and then with the call center. So I spend $5,300 a month. Now, here's what happens. The only other cost there is the studio in a box. It runs between $150 and $200. We have you buy that up front. We give you all the information. It's on Amazon, and it's pretty cool. It's a mic, it's headphones. We supply it's done by your computer, laptop, or your CPU. It's done in the comfort of your home or office. And we supply, and we have paid for it, we supply the software to be able to go in and to make it sound like you're both there in a live studio. People think it's live. In fact, we say, let's open up the phone lines, and then they're calling into our call center. Okay? So it's pretty cool. Certainly the ROI, the first one you do is probably the worst one you do. The next one you do is the second worst one you do. But I will say this, is that the more you do, the better you get, the more calls come in. So my first week, I had no calls that came in. My second week, I had 2 calls that came in, no appointments. Third week, I had 2 calls, no appointments. And then I got 3 appointments. And then I got 2, and then I got 3, and then I got 4, and then I got 2. And so it took me about a month to kind of get it going, but I was trying a lot of different things of what would work and what hasn't. But the ball, you need to really, on this, you need to go out. If you can go out for 6 months, that's important. So if you just think you're going to do it for a month and then that's it, I'm telling you, you can't, because people start listening to the show and they build up a brand. You start building your brand. And I think that's very, very important. So yeah, I've certainly have made much more money than the cost for me of doing it for the last 6 or 7 months. What happens, I think it's just going to get better and better. With marketing, I want every week great, but that isn't the way it is. Some weeks are down, some weeks are better than expected. But the consistency of around 3 appointments a week, which is about 14 appointments a month, yeah, and then I normally have a workshop that gets me another 10 appointments. So I have lots of appointments, and the whole goal here is, I look on my calendar the day before of what my next new appointment is, and it's pretty darn nice that the appointments are set for you. That's very, very nice. Now they're confirmed by your office on Monday always, but they're set for you. Okay. So I'm going to go in and we'll see if there's any other questions that have come on up, and I'll shoot this over with Steve Murray.
As you can imagine, Dave, now there's a couple questions specific to areas, and I know the answer to this one for you. I know that what we generally do is if you have some interest and you want to find out a little bit more information about your area, what station that would be used, what the specific costs would be for your area, then that's a very good reason to check yes on that poll. Go ahead and check yes. Dave will have Jared. We'll get with Jared. We'll find out the best spot in your area and get you an idea of what the cost would be and the times available for you. So we know that's going to be a real key to your interest. Next question up. So do you have to do the radio show during the time available? No, you actually record that radio show ahead of time. I know Dave records his every Monday morning. You can basically choose when you want to record it as long as it fits within the time parameters of the production company that works with you on that, and they're pretty well wide open. You're not going to be able to record a show 8 o'clock at night on a Tuesday, but about any time during working hours, we can get that fit in for you. And you need to set aside probably 45 minutes to an hour for that recording time, because you are going to have some takes that you'll want to get redone. What happens right now is, at least in Dave's area, he'll record half-hour shows, and then he kind of varies the half-hour shows within an hour-long format, and it gives plenty of variety, gives plenty of opportunity for people to show some interest in the subject matter that you might be talking about, and that's what generates the phone calls. pretty good appointment setting team, as Dave will tell you. As he mentioned, he's gone through a little bump or two there and has really arrived at a pretty smooth road right now to getting those appointments set. Very, very happy with the crew that does the appointment setting, and they're doing that appointment setting right during your radio show. So as Dave mentioned, you're going to start getting emails with pretty good information on some clients that have interest for you. So that looks like, I know there are a couple of much more specific questions as to areas, which it looks like for most of you, you have answered yes to speaking with Dave, so you can address that specifically with Dave. I don't see any more questions coming up here right now. Let me just take one last look. So there's a couple of good ones here that have just popped up regarding sponsorship and things like that. David, do you happen to know, has that question ever come up where maybe you can get a sponsor that might defray some of the cost?
Yeah, it's interesting because it does happen. And I actually asked a car dealer who is a good friend of mine, and he's been very successful, and he actually advertises on KFAB on his own. But, advertising is very, very expensive. And so what I was going to do is I was going to give him 2 1-minute spots throughout a 30-minute. And, and he said, yeah, he said he certainly would have interest. So I don't know if that would generate me. I don't know if it would be $300-400 a show. So, it might be $1,000 or $1,200, over maybe $1,000 over a month's time. I decided not to do it because I didn't want to give up the minute, but some people, they might want to. So yes, you can incorporate that. If you can get the money, you would be your own ad agency to go in and to do that. It wouldn't be the local radio station. So what happens is that yes, that is possible. I looked into it, and I might do it down the road. But as of right now, the time is real, real important. I've had enough success. I don't want to give up in an hour, 4 minutes of my time. So so you certainly could, though, and we can certainly talk more about that. So here's another question. It says, what happens if we create a partnership with the radio station and they take care of the production? Is a la carte pricing? Yeah, I will tell you, yeah, you can do that. You can absolutely do that, but I will tell you this. I tried to do that with KFAB, and I was going to pay 60% more in the radio time than I would have done it through the media buyer. That's what they do. They negotiate, they get you all those extra spots, they promote the show. So no, it isn't that you have to go through the media buyer, but I will say this, it's normally almost always in your best interest. So certainly if you mark yes, we can talk more about that. Okay. I actually have 3 people that haven't voted. Hey, you guys and gals, let's vote out there. You don't even vote no, just at least vote. So, cause I'm going to hang up here pretty darn soon. I got an appointment in about 45 minutes. So, hey, I really appreciate everybody being on the show with us today. Radio's cool. Radio's pretty neat. It kind of sets you apart from the pack. And our whole goal is to write business. Well, you can't write business without getting appointments. And once you get appointments, then you can go in and show them of what your expertises are. I've been in the production coaching business and marketing for financial advisors for many, many years, for 25 plus years. And it seems like there's a lot of good salespeople. They just don't have enough qualified appointments that they can go in and really, really show their wares and get on that top of production. What happens with this type of marketing, I will say this, that it does seem like in the last 5, 6, 7 months that I've done this, that the amount of dollars that you're looking at here seems to be a little higher grade, a little higher bar than what seminars are. Am I talking down seminars? Not a bit. Do I still do them? You darn right I do. But it does seem like the appointments that we're getting, there seems to be a little higher net worth, maybe a little more sophistication. It's been a good group to work with. And I say that because it's been profitable after expenses. My bottom line has been profitable, and hopefully it's just going to get better and better. So I'm going to let Steve Murray go ahead. And, oh, and you know what? We do have one more. It says, do we have to be as good looking as Dave to be successful? If you're not, you're sorry. I guarantee you. And that's probably someone who does know me. Yes. No, I tell you what, isn't it just great in this business though? I tell you what, Radio, they never see your face. They never know who you are. They do when they meet face to face with you. But I tell you what happens is the more you do, the better you get. And I coach you. I have 4 coaching sessions. There's no cost for that. I'm not in your hierarchy for your business. I've worked kind of a deal out with Steve and with the FMO. And you know what? Our goal here is to get you as productive, to get you as efficient as we can with the insurance products that you're writing. So looking forward to talking to everybody here in the next on Monday, and I'll let Steve kind of have the sign off here.
Thanks, Dave. Great job as always. Just as we close up here today, I will say that this has been a great initiative that has been put into place here. The radio has offered a new avenue that maybe some folks have looked at in the past and not been successful with, or maybe not looked at all. And the key really is the efficiency and the full level of support along the way, as this is what we do on the seminar side as well. You have to have all that in place to be successful. So the question is, could I do something a la carte? Certainly that would be available, but as Dave mentioned, I think you would find that the efficiency of the system is so much better when you just work through what is already in place, because it's already been vetted for you. You're getting a very, very good product, and you'll listen. If you take a minute and listen to a radio show or listen to a portion of it, you'll see it's done very, very professionally, and that makes all the difference in the world. So that when you go sit down with that client for that first appointment, your credibility level is very high because you've got a very professional delivery of the radio show itself. So we hope that you'll take advantage of it. Looks like we have got everyone has voted by now, which we appreciate greatly. If you have voted yes, you'll hear from Dave and his team very shortly. Any other thing that we can do for you here at IAMS to help you grow your business, that's what we're about here. We're all about helping the agent find prospects, and once prospects are found, find the products. Once products are found and sold, then you get that business through from the submission and the commission standpoint. That's what we're all about here, and Dave and his team are a big part of that first step, that first and probably most important step of getting you in front of more clients. So take advantage of us. We'd love to work with you as always. As I've mentioned, most of you online here have been folks that already have a relationship with IAMS. Whatever we can do to help you, as has always been the case, we're going to go that extra mile for you. So give us a call here at the office at 800-255-5055. Again, Dave, thank you for your time, for joining us here today. Finally, thank you all for taking a few minutes out of your Friday to join us. I know that sometimes you've got other things in mind for your Friday. The fact that you've taken the time to learn a little bit more that can help you, your business, and help your family and help your clients means a lot to us here at IAMS. So let us know how we can be of service to you. Have a great weekend. Hopefully you're wherever you're at, you'll have some great weather and some time to get out and enjoy whatever it is that you enjoy. And we'll look forward to talking with you next week. Thank you very much.